solve the inequality for x. Okay, the first thing I noticed is that there was a fraction, and I always like to get rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by the denominator, so it works like this. Since I'm wanting to get rid of the 7, I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. 7 times negative 10 is negative 70, is less than or equal to, when you multiply by the denominator, that actually cancels each other out. Top cancels with bottom, so you get 2x. Now you're wanting for the x to be by itself, so it's being multiplied by 2. So you have to divide both sides by 2. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And top negative cancels with the bottom negative, so 70 divided by 2 is 35, is less than or equal to, top cancels with bottom, x. So if you're not having to graph, you can leave your answer like this. You don't necessarily have to have the x out front. So that's the answer to that one. The denominator is 8, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 8 to get rid of the fraction. 8 times 10 is 80, is greater than, top cancels with bottom, negative 5x. Now we're going to divide both sides by negative 5, but you got to be careful with inequalities, because when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to actually flip the inequality. So a positive divided by a negative is a negative, 80 divided by 5 is 16, but it's not going to be a greater than answer, it's going to be a less than answer. Top cancels with bottom, and then you have x. The next one, I have a 3 in the denominator, so I'm going to get rid of that. So 3 times negative 8u is negative 24u, is less than or equal to, top cancels with bottom, negative 10. Negative 24 times u, the opposite of times is divide. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 24, but since I'm dividing by a negative number, that inequality is going to have to flip in my final answer. Top cancels with bottom, u, it's not going to be a less than answer, it's going to be a greater than or equal to answer. Top cancels with bottom, and 10 over 24, you have to simplify that. So since they're both even numbers, just cut them in half. Half of 10 is 5. And half of 24 is 12.